Hello guys, welcome to this video, and in this section we will see what is all selected and all except functions inside DAX. So these two functions are one of the most important filter functions which are widely used inside Power BI. So let us see how to use these functions in the report. So for that we have a business use case. So let us assume we are having an electronic store dataset which sells all electronic items like mobiles and tabs and etc. So we have to answer to our store manager that what is our each city's revenue share with respect to their region which is selected. So we will see how these all selected and all except function which help us to modify our filter context and how these functions are controlling the filters which are applied in the report. So let's see inside Power BI now. So we are inside Power BI now, and I have a table which shows me the total sales for each region. And the total sales which happened for my electronic store is 7.8 million. So before understanding all selected and all except function, let's see how this all function works. So here is my DAX measure for all function. So if you see this all function, we have used our total sales measure, which is nothing but our sum of revenue column. So in the filter field, we have used all function. So this all function which ignores any filters which are present in the report. For example, it can be an filter context, or it can be an outer slicer. So this all function which ignores any filter which are applied in the report. So if I am selecting my slicer to north region, you can see that my all function which still gives me the total sales which are happened in my entire electronic store. So even if I am filtering to other region, so for region south, still my all measure which gives me the total sales which happen for my store by ignoring any filters in the report. So this is how all function which gives us the result by ignoring any filters in the report. So this all selected which only allows a filter on the column where it is selected in the report. So for example, here is my DAX function for all selected. So inside my filter field, I have used my all selected function. So let us rewrite this function. And if you see the syntax, it takes a table name or any particular column name. So I'm giving my table like customer details table. So what this all selected function do is, it only allows and filter which are applied to my customer details table, and it ignores any filter from other tables. So those filters on that table or column should be selected in the report. So let us see how it works in our report now. So this is my all selected measure. I'll bring this in my table. So now you can see that my all selected measure which gives me the same result with respect to my all function. But if I select my region slicer here, you can see the difference here. So now you can see the difference that my all measure which still gives me the total sales, but my all selected measure which allows the filter which happened on my region column, and it gives me the total sales of that particular region. So this is how all selected function, which helps to allow and filter by slicer selection. So from the measure name itself, we can find that all selected, which means it only allows a filter by selecting a particular column. So this is how all selected function is used in the report by allowing the filters by selection. So let's move on to all except function now. So now all except function, which are very similar to other filter function. So this all except function, which takes particular column name or table name as an input, and it only allows filter on that particular column name. So let us see how it is created. So here is my measure for all except. So in the filter field, I'll use my all except function. So you can see the syntax here. We have to mention the table name first. So I'm going to use my customer details table. So, and then I just want to consider my region column alone for passing any filters. So I will close this measure and let us see how this all except function works in the visual. So I will bring this in the table. So now you can see the difference between all selected and all except. So this all except function, which only consider my region column to apply any filters. So since I have used my region column in the filter context, so my all except function, which allows this filter context, and it gives me the sales for that region. So you can see for north, we are getting the total sales for north, and for south, we are getting the sales for south region. So similar way, it gives me the sales for each region. So whereas if you see my all selected measure, it gives me the total sales for each region. But if I select my region column in the slicer, this will give me the sales for my east region. So this is the main difference between my all selected function and all except function. So this all selected function, which allows the filters by selection, whereas my all except function, which takes a particular column and it only allows a filter on that column. So this is how these two filter function works inside the report. So meanwhile, if you see my all measure, it still gives me the total sales for my store, because it ignores any filters. It may be a filter context or it may be a filter from the slicer. So it ignores any filters from the report and it gives me the result. So these are three most important filter functions which are widely used inside Power BI. So I hope you understood how to use these filter functions inside Power BI. So thanks for watching this video.